So the first, now we are going to discuss about so here you have a cantilever of span L carries a UDL W per unit length over a distance A from a fixed end. Here you are going to derive, here we are going to derive the cantilever with a point load with a UDL at some distance A. Cantilever with UDL at some distance A. So here it is A, this one is B, and this one is C, A, B, C. And when you draw the diagram deflection curve, the curve will be, the deflection curve will be like this. Understand? So up to here, up to this point, up to this point, the deflection is, up to this point, the deflection is y1. Up to this point, the deflection is y1. Here it is y2. Okay, is it clear? Here it is y1 and y2. You will apply the same process. Whatever you apply in the previous derivation, you will apply the same condition. If you apply the same condition, what happens here? If you apply the same condition, what happens here? Here it will be, what is the deflection at B? Deflection at B. You know directly you have a formula for UDL. This beam is like this. It is carrying a UDL A to B, and the UDL is W Newton per meter, small w Newton per meter. UDL is small w Newton per meter. So here the deflection at B is, have a standard formula. In terms of L, you are writing in terms of A, WA to the power of 4 by 8 EI. Similarly, then deflection at C, already have told you, you have a derivation. Previous derivation is deflection at B plus YB plus L minus A into slope at B. That is the formula here you are applying. Deflection at B is W into A to the power of 4 by 8 EI plus L minus A plus L minus A into WA cube by 6 EI. This one will be the slope, but the slope at this point and the slope at this point are same, slope at B and slope at C. So theta B is equal to theta C is equal to WA cube by 6 EI. This one will be your slope. Is it clear? Is it clear? Anybody has any doubts? Okay. Next we are moving to the next derivation, that is cantilever span L carries a UDL W Newton per W per unit length over a distance A from a free end. Okay, here you are going to derive distance A from a free end. Here you are going to derive distance A from a free end. Okay, the next derivation, it is distance A from free end. So the next derivation is this. I am moving this one. The next derivation here we are going to derive is, here the given problem is like this. It is carrying a UDL at a distance a from a free end. This distance is a meters. The total distance is L meters, and this distance is L minus a. This distance is L minus a. Okay, this is L minus a. So here I am going to derive this one. How will you derive here? Here deflection at C is, what will be the deflection? For this one, what are the what is the condition you are using is, what you are doing is, I am considering the UDL. Okay, I'm taking the UDL throughout the beam. The UDL whichever is up to this point is A, and the remaining UDL I am subtracting it. The remaining UDL I am subtracting it. This L minus A distance UDL I am subtracting it, and the total distance is L meters. What I am doing is, I am taking the continuous UDL here, that is W, small w Newton per mm. I am taking continuous UDL here, and I am applying some W UDL through a distance L minus A. This distance will be same. Okay, up to here, this distance, the load will be same. There will be no deflection takes place. It will be balanced. So after that, what I am doing, what is the formula? Deflection at C is, okay, downward deflection at free end minus upward deflection at free end. Downward deflection at free end minus downward deflection at free end minus upward deflection at free end. What is the downward deflection? Downward deflection means the total deflection which is acting up to the distance of L meters. You have a direct formula for this one, that is for UDL WL to the power of 4 by 8 EI. WL to the power of 4 by 8 EI minus, for upward deflection you have a formula. What is the formula you have? The total distance it is acting is L minus A distance. Upward deflection is upward, UDL is acting up to the distance of L minus A. Already you have derived the formula here. Already you have a derived a formula. You are substituting the same, this formula to this one. You are substituting this formula to substituting this formula here. What is the formula here? W into L minus A. In terms, here you have a, here you have a here you have a L minus A. L minus A whole to the power of 4 by 8 EI plus W into L minus A whole cube by, here L minus A is nothing but A. Here you have a, then W into L minus A whole cube by 6 EI. This is the formula for deflection at C. Is it clear? This is the deflection at C. Is it clear? This is the deflection at point C. Then, okay, is it clear? You have to follow this process. First, you have calculated the deflection for this UDL, total UDL. Then you are subtracting this upward UDL. You have a standard formula here, you are substituting here. Then what is the slope? Slope will be same. Theta C is equal to, if you have a deflection, then slope will be same at any point. So theta c is equal to w into L minus a whole cube by 6 EI will be your slope. Is it clear? Anybody has any doubt? Anyone has any doubt in this derivations? Answer it, roll number 65, 16. Roll number 67.
Sir?
Do you have any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, everything is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next we are going to solve some of the problems on cantilever beam. So first is you're solving one problem on cantilever beam. Okay, already you have derived the derivation of simply supported with a point load and simply supported with a UDL. Okay, already we rendu derive chesam. Okay, you have derived both of these derivations, simply supported with a point load and simply supported with a UDL. Okay, now we are moving to problems. So first the problem on here you are using a Michaelis method. Understand, for moment area method or these derivations are known as whatever the derivations you have done, those derivations are called derived using a double integration method. Using the standard formulas, you have a problems, you can refer the textbook RK Bansal for it. Okay, I will tell you the page numbers, I will intimate to your CR, go through those problems once. Direct formula and substitution. Here there you will give the load W, length and EI values, directly you have to substitute it. Okay, next we are moving to the next method called Michaelis method. Michaelis method is applicable where number of loads are acting on the number of loads, several loads are acting on any beam, more than one load is acting, then we will go for Michaelis method. So first we are solving one problem on Michaelis method. So find the displacement, is asking to find the displacement, is asking you to find the displacement, that is nothing but a deflection, and slope you have to find, and slope, find the deflection and slope for a free slope at a free end of the cantilever beam shown in figure. You have to find the deflection and slope for a cantilever beam. Find the deflection and slope for a cantilever beam shown in figure. He has given E value as 2 into 10 power 5 Newton per mm square and I value as 2 into 10 power 8 2 into 10 power 8 Newton 2 into 10 power 8 mm to the power of 4 given as these values, and the cantilever beam given it is acting like this. Here you have a point load, here also you have a point load. This load is 30 kilonewtons and this load is 20 kilonewtons. This load is 20 kilonewtons. This one is 2 meters, this one is 1 meter. Okay, so here you are considering a, what is the differential equation you have? EI d square y by dx square is equal to mx is the differential equation you have. Okay, so For that, here you are considering a section X. Always you have to consider section from a free end. After the completion of loads, you are considering the section X. Remember it, for UDL, for cantilever beam, whenever you are considering the section X, always you have to consider the section X from the free end. After completing the load, after considering the loads, you have to consider the section X. Okay, here moment about X is, here you have to calculate mx. What is the moment about X here? 30 into x meters minus 30 into x. How it is acting? It is acting in a clockwise direction. It is acting in a clockwise direction. From right side, clockwise will be negative. From right side, clockwise will be negative. Next you have minus 20 into, what is this distance? X minus 1. What is this distance? X minus 1, minus 20 into x minus 1. Okay, this is mx. When I substitute here in the equation, substitute here in the equation, ei 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 d square y by dx square is equal to ei d square y by dx square is equal to mx. Ei d square y by dx square is equal to mx. Then I am substituting here ei, okay, ei d square y by dx square is equal to mx. So here ei d square y by dx square is equal to mx means minus 30 into x minus 20 into x minus 1. So what I am doing is I am integrating on both sides. What happens? Ei dy by dx is equal to minus 30 into x square by 2 minus 20 into x minus 1 whole square by 2. Don't expand this x minus 1 whole square. Understand? Is it clear? I have to keep like this. So here it is cancel. It is 15. It is 10. When you simplify this one, ei dy by dx is equal to minus 15 into x square minus 10 into x minus 1 whole square, minus 15 into x square minus 10 into x minus 1 whole square. Is it clear? Here you have a plus c1 plus c1. Understand, there will be constant value. You have to calculate this c1 value. Then what will you do? Again you will integrate this one on both sides. Again integrate on both sides. What happens? Ei, you are considering this as equation 1. Ei y is equal to minus 15 into x cube by 3 minus 10 into x minus 1 whole cube by 3 plus c1x plus c2. Simplify this one. Okay, it will be 3 3's ei y is equal to 3 5's, it is minus 5 into x cube minus, it is 3 3's are 9, 3.33 into x minus 1 whole cube plus c1x plus c2. This is equation 2. Okay, same as the process you have done in a double integration method. There is a single load, here you are considering a multiple loads. Then what you are doing is you are applying the boundary conditions to calculate the values of this C1 and C2. What are the boundary conditions he will apply? I have told you, whenever the fixed support is acting, what are the boundary conditions he will apply? When you see the diagram here, what are the boundary conditions here you have? You see the diagram, the boundary conditions here you have is, here the x value is 0, here x value is 1, here x value is 3. What happens at x is equal to 0, this one, at x is equal to 3, what happens? Dy by dx is equal to x is equal to 3, dy by dx is equal to 0. At x is equal to 3, dy by dx is equal to 0. Then x is equal to 3, y is equal to 0. These are the boundary conditions at a fixed support. You are applying the same boundary conditions. Is it clear? You are applying the same boundary conditions. What are the boundary conditions here? At x is equal to 3, dy by dx is equal to 0. At x is equal to 3, dy by dx is equal to 0. At x is equal to 3, y is equal to 0. Okay, you are substituting this one. First you are substituting in a equation 1. Substituting in equation 1, what happens? It is, you substitute in equation 1, 0 is equal to minus 15 into 3 square minus 10 into 3 minus 1 whole square plus C1. When you simplify this one, 0 is equal to minus 15 into 9 minus 10 minus 3 minus 2, 3 minus 1 2, 10 into 4 plus C1. Then C1 value is, what is the value of C1 here? This one is whole square. This one is also whole square, 9 square. So when you simplify this one, it will be C1 is plus 175. The value of C1 is plus 175. Is it clear? The value of C1 is plus 175. Then you will substitute the value of second boundary condition. Substitute in equation 2. When you substitute in equation 2, what happens? 0 is equal to minus 5 into 3 cube minus 3.33 into 3 minus 1 whole cube plus C1 is 175 into 3 plus C2. Okay, then the value of C2 is, when you simplify this one, here the value of C2 is, or else simplify more, 0 is equal to minus 5 into 9. Okay, it is cube. Three cube. Here it is 9 nines are 9 threes are 27. 3 threes are 9, 9 threes are 27 minus 3.33 into, here the two value, 2 twos are 4, 4 twos are 8 plus 175 into 3 plus C2. Okay, when you simplify this one, you get a value of C2. C2 value is plus 363.33. The value of C2 is plus C363.33. The value of C3 is plus 363.33. Then substitute these values in the equation 1 and 2. Then here you have slope and deflection at free end. Okay, here you are calculating the slope and, okay, I will write here slope and deflection at free end. It is at x is equal to 0. What happens at free end? What is the value of x here? You have written Okay, here the value of x is 0 at free end. The value of x is 0. So you are calculating slope and deflection at free end, that is x is equal to 0. Okay, that is x is equal to 0. When you substitute here, what happens? When you substitute those values in this equation, already you have a slope equation. In this equation, if you substitute x as a 0, this term will become, we substitute x as a 0, this term will become 0, this term 0 minus 1. What is the value of 0 minus 1? Listen carefully. Whenever you are solving the problem like this, 0 minus 1 means 1 minus minus 1 whole cube and raster chala mandi. When you first you will consider the slope equation. The slope equation, this one is 0. Okay, here x minus 1, 0 minus 1 means minus 1 whole square 1 and తీసుకుంటారు. Okay, here the distance is 0. 0 means 0 minus something, it will be 0. Understand? So ఇక్కడ మనకు distance ఏం లేనప్పుడు అందులోంచి ఏం తీసేస్తాం? So here you are considering this as a 0. The remaining term is 1c1. C1 is how much? 175. Then slope dy by dx is equal to C1 is 175 by EI. I am sending this EI this side. Then similarly, you will calculate the deflection. Slope dy by dx is C1. Okay, or else I will write it clearly. EI dy by dx is equal to C1. Then when you simplify this one, what happens? Dy by dx is equal to, the C1 value is 175 by EI. The value of C1 is 175 by EI. Similarly, we will calculate the deflection. Okay, you know the value of EI. What is the value of EI here? EI is 175 by EI value is, second, what is the value of EI you have? EI is equal to, EI is given as 2 into 10 power 5 into 2 into 10 power 8. When you simplify this one, it is in Newton per mm square. It is in Newton per mm square. Convert into meters. Convert into meters. Okay, here you have a mm square. Then you have to convert into meter square. Meter square lo convert చేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది? 10 power 3 minus 10 power minus 3 whole square is 10 power minus 6. 10 power minus 6 పోతే it will be 10 power 7. Understand? Ima, the total value of EI is 4 into 10 power 4 into 10 power 13 Newton mm square. I am converting into meters. EI is equal to 4 into 10 power 7 Newton meter square. Understand? Here meter square is 10 power 6 వస్తుంది. 6 పోతే here you have a 7. You can write it as EI 4 into 10 power 4 kilonewton meter square. Okay, here it is 4 into 10 power 4 kilonewton meter square. Is it clear? Is it clear? Next, here you have, you are taking the, substituting the values here. What happens? Dy by dx is equal to 175 by 4 into 10 power 4, 1 kilonewton meter, 4 into 10 power 4. Then it will be, it is nothing but a slope theta, that is, it is 0.004375 radians. The value is 0.004375 radians. Next, you are calculating the deflection. Okay, in the deflection equation, here you have the deflection equation here. Okay, in the deflection equation, this x value will be 0, x minus 1 whole cube is also 0, c1 into x is also 0. The remaining term is c2, that is ei, that is, I am writing here, eiy is equal to c2, that is y is equal to c2 by ei. The value of c2 is how much? The value of c2 is 363.33. The value of C3 is, by EI value is 4 into 10 power 4. The value of EI is 4 into 10 power 4. The deflection Y is, deflection at free end is 0.08 mm. That is, the deflection at free end is how much? 0.00908 meters. When you convert it into mm, that is 0. mm లో కన్వర్ట్ చేస్తే it is 9.08 mm. Understand? We're converting into mm, 9.08 mm. Is it clear? In this way you have to calculate the slope and deflection of a. So somebody has told me what is nothing but slope and deflection. Okay, slope is, deflection is a vertical distance and slope is the inclined value. Slope is nothing but it is denoted with a theta. Rule number 19. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Ima, here I will explain what is the slope and deflection. You want a difference between the slope and the deflection. So when you consider a cantilever beam, okay, this beam is like this. Understand? So the deflection of this beam is like this. This distance is nothing but a deflection. Vertical distance is nothing but a deflection. And slope is, the angle of this deflection curve is nothing but a slope. Is it clear? It is a theta. The angle of the deflection curve is nothing but a theta. I will share all the material with you. You can go through it afterwards. Okay. Meanwhile, you note it down or listen it. Okay. If you have any doubt, you can ask me afterwards. Is it clear? Okay. What we have done is, I will just briefly explain you once again. Okay. Here you are considering a cantilever beam. Here he has given a cantilever beam with a uniform with a point loads, 2 point loads he has given, 20 kilonewtons and 30 kilonewtons. He has given the value of E and I. So first you have to calculate the deflection and slope. Here you have to calculate the deflection and slope. Maximum for cantilever beam, the maximum deflection always occurs at a free end. For cantilever beam, the maximum deflection occurs at a free end. Okay, rule number 67 has some doubt. Sir, for simply supported beam subject to eccentric loading, where will the maximum deflection occurs? Now we'll solve the problems. Maximum for simply supported beam, the maximum deflection occurs always at the center or some distance nearer to the center. Okay, whereas in cantilever beam, the maximum deflection always occurs at the free end. Okay, here you have a different calculations. You have to calculate the maximum deflection also for a simply supported beam. Okay, you have a problems on it also. In the problems you will solve the maximum deflection also in the problems of simply supported beam. So here you are considering a cantilever beam. Here you are using a equation ei d square y by dx square is equal to mx. This is a differential equation. So whenever this cantilever beam is given, here you are considering a moment about x. This x value will be always considered after completion of the load. I am considering the x here. Okay, we have to consider these loads, then you have to consider this x value. So I have considered x here. The moment about x is this 30 into x meters. How it is acting? It is acting in a clockwise direction. From right side clockwise will be negative. It is 30 into x, then 20 into this distance. Okay, this distance up to x is the total distance is x. Up to here the distance is 1 meter. Here you are writing it as minus 20 into x minus 1. Then you are substituting in this differential equation. ei d square y by dx square is equal to minus 30 into x minus 20 into x minus 1. Then integrating on both sides, here it will be, if you integrate it, integration differentiation will be cancelled. Ei dy by dx is equal to, here you will get this equation 30 into x square by 2 minus 20 into x minus 1 whole square by 2 plus c1. Again you are simplifying this one, this equation, here you will get a equation 1. Then again integrating on, again you are integrating on both sides. Again I am integrating on both sides. When I am integrating on both sides, here integration and differentiation, again it will be cancel. I will get a y here. Here it is x square is x cube by 3, x minus 1 whole cube is x minus 1 whole square is whole cube by 3 plus c1x. Okay, here you are considering from the right side. From right side clockwise will be negative. For cantilever beam always you have to consider the moment from a free end. Always you have to consider the moment from free end. So here you are considering from the right side. From right side clockwise is negative, anti-clockwise is positive. From the left side, whatever you have learned in a shear force bending moment diagram, applying the same sign conventions here. Is it clear? So here it will be, when you simplify this one, c1x, it will be c1x and c2. Then simplify this one, you'll get the equation 2. After that, here you are applying the boundary conditions. What are the boundary conditions here you are applying? At fixed end, yesterday's class I have told you, at fixed support the slope and deflection will be, both will be 0. At fixed support the slope and deflection will be, if you consider a cantilever beam like this, okay, at fixed support the slope and deflection will be 0. The fixed support initial distance is x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, here x is equal to 3 meters. So at here fixed support x is equal to 3. So here you are considering it as, at x is equal to 3 dy by dx is equal to 0. At x is equal to 3, y is equal to 0. Here you are considering. So substituting these boundary conditions, first in equation 1, x is equal to 3, dy by dx is equal to 0 in equation 1. This term will become 0, minus 15 into 3 square minus 10 into 3 minus 1 whole square. When you simplify this one, here you will get a c1 is equal to 175. Then substitute x is equal to 3, y equal to 0 in equation 2. When I substitute in equation 2 again, here I will get, when I simplify this one, here I'll get a C2 is equal to this value. Then here you will get a C1 and C2 values. After that, I'm calculating the slope and deflection at a free end. At free end, what happens? What is the value of x? I have told you. At free end, the value of x is at free end the value of x is 0 at this point. At free end, the value of x is 0. So here I am considering 0 value here. So in this equation, I'm substituting 0 here, 0 here. 0 minus 1, you have to consider 0, not minus 1 whole square. Okay, remember it. Okay, sometimes you'll confuse and you will write it as 1 minus 1 whole square. Sometimes you will expand this equation, then also you won't get the answer. So always you have to consider 10 into x minus 1, 0 minus 1 whole square. So here the remaining term is c1. Ei dy by dx is equal to c1. Dy by dx is equal to 175 by ei. You know the ei value, substitute here. It is 4 into 10 power 4 kilonewton per meter. Then theta is equal to 0.004375 radians. Then after that you are substituting x is equal to 0 in equation 2. This term will become 0, this term will become 0, this term will become 0. Remaining term is eiy is equal to c2. The remaining term is eiy is equal to c2. Then y is equal to c2 by ei. Then y is equal to 0.00908 meters, that is 9.08 mm. Is it clear? In this way you have to solve the problem. Okay, next I am moving to the next problem. Anybody has any doubts? The process is same for Michaelis method. First you will consider the moment, then you will apply, substitute in the differential equation. After that you will apply the boundary conditions and you will solve for the slope and deflection, substituting the constant values, and you will solve for the slope and deflection. Is it clear? Next I am moving to the next problem. Here he has given a cantilever with UDL and point load. Determine the slope and deflection at the free end of a cantilever. Determine the slope and deflection at the free end of the cantilever. You have to determine the slope and deflection. Slope, deflection and slope for a cantilever shown in a figure. Okay, he has given E value as 200 kilonewton per, he has given E value as 200 kilonewton per mm square, and I value as, he has given I value as he has given I value as 40 into 10 power 7. He has given I value as 40 into 10 power 7. He has given I value as 40 into 10 power 7 mm to the power of 4. The unit is mm to the power of 4. So here he has given UDL and a point load on a cantilever beam. We are considering the cantilever beam which has a UDL, and here you have a 2 point loads. One is UDL is 4 kilonewton per meter. This one is 20 kilonewtons. This one is 10 kilonewtons. This one is 10 kilonewtons. It's given 20 kilonewtons, 10 kilonewtons. Distance is, it is 2 meters, 1 meter and 2 meter. And the distance is 2 meters, 1 meter and 2 meter. First, what will you do is, what is the differential equation? EI d square y by dx square is equal to mx. EI d square y by dx square is equal to mx. What is mx here? Here you have to consider the x. I am considering the x here. I am considering the value of x here. After considering the loads, I am considering the value of x. So here mx is minus 10 into x. This total distance is x meters. Here mx is minus 10 into x minus 20 into x minus 2. This distance, okay, this distance is 2 meters. 20 into x minus 2 and minus, then for UDL, uniformly distributed load, this distance is 3 meters. Is it clear? So 4 into x minus 3 will be the force. 4 into x minus 3 will be the force. 4 into x minus 3 will be the force. 4 into x minus 3 will be the force. X minus 3 by 2 will be the distance. So when you simplify this one, mx is equal to minus 10 into x minus 20 into x minus 2 minus 4 into x minus 3 whole square by 2. Simplify this one, 2 2's. Then what happens? Here substitute in this differential equation. EI d square y by dx square is equal to minus 10 into x minus 10 into x minus 20 into x minus 2 minus 2 into x minus 3 whole square. Then integrate on both sides. When I integrate on both sides, ei dy by dx is equal to, my remaining procedure is same as it is. Only here he has given a 2 point loads, 1 UDL. That's it. Here it is minus 10 into x square by 2 minus 20 into x minus 2 whole square by 2 minus 2 into x minus 3 whole cube by 3. Okay, simplify this one again, plus C1. Here it is 2 tens, 2 fives. Here it is 2 tens, 2 fives. Here it is 2 tens and 2 fives. Simplify this one. Then this equation will become ei dy by dx is equal to minus 5 into x square minus 10 into x minus 2 whole square minus 2 by 3 means it is 3.0.33 0.33 into x minus 3 whole cube plus c1. This is equation 1. Again integrate on both sides. If I integrate on both sides again, what happens here? Ei y is equal to minus 5 into x cube by 3 minus 10 into now here it is It is 0.66, not 33. Sorry, 0.66. So here it is 10 minus x minus 2 whole cube by 3 minus 0.66 into x minus 3 whole to the power of 4 by 4 plus c1x plus c2. This is equation 2. Okay, then apply the boundary conditions. What are the boundary conditions you have? At x is equal to 0, at x is equal to 5, y is equal to 0, at x is equal to 5, dy by dx is equal to 0. It is at fixed supports. Always at fixed supports, the slopes will be always at a fixed support. Here, the value of x is 0. Here, at this point, the value of x is 2. At this point, the value of x is 3. At this point, the value of x is 5. Here, dy by dx is equal to 0 and y will be 0 at fixed support. Is it clear? Okay. Then simplify this one. Substitute here. Substitute here in this equation. What happens when you substitute? Dy by dx is equal to 0. This one will be 0. Dy by dx is equal to 0 is equal to minus 5 into 5 square minus 10 into 5 minus 2 whole square minus 0.66 into 5 minus 3 whole square plus c1. Simplify this one, you will get a value of c1. The value of c1 is plus 220.03 plus 220.33. Value of c1 is plus 220.33. Again, we will simplify this. Next, you will substitute in the second equation. Here we will get 0 is equal to minus 5 into 5 cube by 3, 5 into 5 cube by 3 minus 10 into 5 minus 2 whole square by 3. Okay, sorry, it is whole cube by 3 minus 0.66 into 5 minus 3 whole to the power of 4 by 4 plus c1 is 220.33 into 5 plus c2. Okay, simplify this one. C2 is equal to, you get a value of C2. The value of C2 is minus 800.65. When you simplify this one, you get a value of C2 as minus 800.65. Then, Wahena Rako. One second. Be online. One second. Now when you substitute here the values of C1 and C2 in the above equations, you will get always you have a maximum deflection at the free end. So we are considering it a free end. At free end, what happens? The value of x is 0. So if the value of x is 0, what happens in the above equations? When you go to the above equations, if you substitute x is equal to 0 in this equation, what happens? This whole term will become 0. This this whole term will become 0. This term will become 0. This term will become 0. The remaining term is C1. EI dy by dx is equal to C1. The term is EI dy by dx is equal to C1. EI dy by dx is equal to C1. The value of C1 is how much? The value of C1 is plus 220.33. Then dy by dx is equal to 220.33 by EI. What is the value of EI? The value of EI is 200 into 10 cube into 40 into 10 power 7. When you simplify this one, it will be 8 into 10 power 4 kilonewton meter square. Kilonewton meter square. It will be kilonewton meter square. Okay, then simplify this one, you will get the value of dy by dx, that is theta in radians, that is 220.33 by 8 into 10 power 4. You will get a deflection as 0.00275 radians. 0.00275 radians. You get the value in a radians. This is a slope. Then when you substitute in the second equation, what happens? Again this term will be 0, this term will be 0, this term will be 0, this term will be 0. The remaining term is only the C2. EIY is equal to C2, y is equal to C2 by EI. The value of C2 is minus 800.65 by 8 into 10 power 4. You'll get a value as 0. Minus 0.0100 meters, that is minus 10 mm. Understand, this negative sign indicates that it is acting downwards, 10 mm in a downward direction, that is deflection which is acting in a downward direction. Is it clear? Emma, is it clear? Emma, anybody has any doubts? It is acting in a downward direction, 10 mm acting in a downward direction. Okay, just go through it. Okay, these are the two problems. You have another model in this one where the load is acting at the center, then you have to draw the deflection curve. Okay, I will explain you in the next class. Meanwhile, I will send the material for this derivation and these two problems. Go through it. I will share with you a CR. Okay, note it down. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the next class. Is it clear? I will take the attendance. ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా ఈ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ లో? సింపుల్ ప్రొసీజర్ will be there. Okay, nothing to worry, just you have to calculate the deflection. moment first, mark the point x. From x, you have to calculate the moment about x, then substitute in the differential equation. Then you have to integrate it 2 times. You'll get a constant c1 and c2. Apply the boundary conditions to calculate these constants. After getting this constant, calculate the deflection at the free end. By substituting, always at free end, the x value will be 0. So substituting this, you can calculate the slope and deflection. Okay, it's a very important. In the exam, definitely will ask this problem using Maclaurin's method only, and sometimes you will ask the derivations as well. So go through it. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the next class. Okay. Now be online. I'm taking the attendance. After that, you can leave the class. Anybody has any doubts? Anyone has any doubts? Okay, I'm leaving this session. I'm ending this session. I'm sharing the notes with your CR. Just go through it. Okay. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the next class. Please refer the textbook for the problems of double integration method. Okay. Derivations are in the notebook. I will share the notebook, and the remaining problems will be, you can go through the textbook RK Bansal. Okay. Thank you.